Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Animal Talk Thursday. I'm Dawn Heyman, co-founder of Spring Farm and professional animal communicator. And we're here to answer some questions. And as we talked about last week, this is going to be our final one. Don't panic. It's just temporary. We're taking a hiatus. So this will be our final one right now until next year. So we'll start in January. We'll start back up. But don't think we're going away, because we're going to be coming from a different place. Still animal communication related. We'll talk more at the end of this video, about what's coming up. But we're going to be starting our animal messages next Thursday. So every day you will have a message from an animal about what they're grateful for. So that's starting in the U.S. Thanksgiving, which is next Thursday, a week from today. So we're excited about that. We're upgrading this year. I think you're going to be happy with what we're doing. Thanks to Becca. But we got a big thing planned. So that's why we had to put this aside for now. It's too much to do.
Yeah, it's a lot. Okay, so we'll start with the last few questions we got. Okay. So the first one I have is, if you have several animals that are trying to talk to you at once, how do you handle that? Do you tell them, hey guys, one at a time? What does that look like?
Okay. So keeping in mind, I'm not hearing voices coming at me. So I'm focusing on somebody. So as far as that goes, I can walk in our barn on some days and, for example, and all of the horses will want to be telling me something. Sometimes none of them want to tell me anything when they come in, but other times there are lots of them. But so it's not that I have to ask them to be quiet or to wait. I have to let them know I'm going to listen to all of them, but that right now I need to focus on one at a time. So it's up to me to do the focusing on who I'm listening to. But yes, there are times when I'm doing consultations, like when I used to do consultations in multi-pet households, I would get a very clear signal from somebody coming in, and I might say, oh my goodness, he's really energetic. What he says is blah, 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 something mischievous. And the person will say, oh goodness, that's not him, but that's my other cat. And like, they'll know who it is. And then I'll have to say to that cat, hang on, you'll get your turn, but we're talking to this other one first. And then I'll reconnect and get the one that I'm supposed to be talking to. Mm. So that's how that works. But it depends on what we're focusing on.
That makes sense.
And we better stop for a second before you go on to your next question, because we got cats that we have to introduce here. No, they showed up in the picture. So we have Honey Bun up here, sleeping in her little tray up here. And then this one is
Patrick.
That's Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, oh, I want to be
part
of this.
Patrick suddenly wanted to be a part of it. All right, Patrick.
He was sleeping in the corner, but he's like, you're doing something interesting.
Yeah, this is good. We're going to talk. You can maybe even say something. He says, like, what? What am I going to say? And Hermie is down underneath. I don't know if people can see him down there.
Not really.
He's like a model cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got great eyes. People comment all the time when I post pictures of Hermie on the website, like, oh my God, that cat's eyes. Everybody thinks they're photoshopped. Becca and I were just talking about that, but they're not photoshopped. He's just got amazing eyes. Okay. He may show up, maybe not, but Patrick will carry it off.
Okay. Awesome. So another question we got is about how animals experience time passing and if they acknowledge important dates like holidays and birthdays like humans do.
Okay, not in the same way humans do. We humans are obsessed with like birthdays, and then we do that with our animals. I'm guilty. I do it with our dogs and cats. Cats, we don't really know their birthdays, but our dogs we know roughly when they were born. So our adoption date of when we got them, whatever. So they do appreciate that. I don't think they, to my knowledge, that they walk around going, oh, tomorrow's my birthday. We tend to do that. They don't tend to do that. Except when we make a big deal of it to them, like tomorrow's your birthday, then they know. So they do understand the passage of time. It's just that they're not calendar related, like we are. As far as holidays go, this is a question I've been asked a lot over the years, and it's timely now that we're coming into Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of the holidays, where people ask me, are animals aware of like Thanksgiving, and are they aware of whatever holidays we celebrate? Are they aware of Thanksgiving or Christmas or Hanukkah? Do they know? Well, they know because it changes in your house a lot during the holidays for a lot of people. Not everybody, but if you are celebrating a holiday, they're going to know. So I used to get asked this all the time, like, how do animals know? So I see it here, where at the farm, where our animals, the horses will start getting excited about the holidays coming. So why is that? Well, because the people, their caretakers, are excited about it. They see at night, if we have the festive lights, if we put up our Christmas lights or whatever, they see those from the barn, and they really like that. I've been told by the horses that they love to look out and see Christmas lights on in our big hall, and they can see them from the barn. So they like that. They like it because it's a joyful time where people bring in joy to them. They're bringing in donations. They're bringing in carrots and apples, and they're bringing in all sorts of treats. And so that's exciting to them. They also are aware of it because for a lot of people, the holidays are not fun times, and they're very depressing times. And we also need to acknowledge that. It's people are more lonely and depressed around the holidays. The animals definitely pick that up. So they are very, very aware of major holidays because of that. It's not necessarily that it's genetically programmed into them to know, here's the holiday season coming up, but they feel it because they feel it in all of us and how we respond. Yeah.
Do animals have their own celebrations of anything, like how humans kind of invented their own, or is that really a human thing that we do?
Yeah. In my experience, it's more a human thing. I've not come across animals, like in an excited state, and I say, "What's up?" Well, it's Junior's birthday.
Yeah.
I don't get that. They celebrate a lot of things that are, for example, the seasons they celebrate. They get that. They are very much biologically aligned with the moon phases, the seasons, the equinox. This time change thing really annoys the heck out of them. I don't understand what happens to people in fall and spring when we mess with the clocks. They don't get that. And I've been complained to about this many times by a lot of different animals. That I'll say to them, I'll explain to them, this is why we changed the clocks, and this is why. And they usually say the same thing to me. Well, that's pretty stupid. I can't disagree with them. So, but anyway, so they're more in tune with the seasons. As I say, the moon phases, they are very much affected by that. And, so they're much more in tune to that than we are. So it's different. It's like a different culture. I say this all the time about animal communication. It'd be like us trying to understand a different culture. And same thing with them. They have their own, especially wildlife. But also our domestic animals are just more in tune to to nature related, things that are going on.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. So since we're starting the animal messages next week, do you want to give us a little history?
Sure.
Of where that came from?
Sure. So, this all started for us personally here, probably about, 28, 30 years ago. And it was when Bonnie and I were just co-founding Spring Farm, and there were rough times in the beginning, especially after our fire and everything. There were rough times, and of trying to persevere and keep going and trying to create this and make it happen when we had no money to start with. We had such limited funding. And then as things picked up and people were hearing about us and donating and we were moving forward, we would find, there was one Thanksgiving at the beginning, when Bonnie said to me, we need to really focus on gratitude today. It was Thanksgiving morning, and it was in a tough phase for us. And she said, okay, so, let's find something to be grateful for. And I actually think this could have actually even started the Thanksgiving after our fire, because that would make sense to me that was the one that started it. And so Bonnie said to me, "Can you go ask the animals what they're grateful for?" We talked to each other about what we were grateful for and where we saw the farm heading and where we wanted to be and what we were trying to create. But she was like, "Let's include the animals, and can you ask them what they're grateful for?" So we actually went out to the barn in the morning and went around and asked each horse, what are you grateful for? And I would get these messages from them. It changed the course of that, changed our Thanksgiving that year dramatically. So we did it the next year, and we've done it every year since then. But we started, I don't know how long ago it was because I was trying to go back in my records. When we started doing this publicly, we didn't have a website right away back then. We didn't have a website, so nobody had websites back then. But when websites came out, and obviously when Facebook came out and things like that, we started then taking our annual tradition of putting these messages out publicly, and it got a lot of we had a lot of feedback that people really liked it, so I kept doing it. It's a lot of work, and I have to get, ranging from this year, Thanksgiving is later, and so there are only 31 days between Thanksgiving and New Year's. So there are 31 animals, 31 messages that I have to get these messages, and then obviously we have to go through the technology part of putting them up. And now it's getting fancier, and this year we're having a huge upgrade. So you'll see it really blossom into more, and I'll talk about that in a second. But so these messages became a big part of our life. But what started happening about 10 years ago or so, we started having people come in that I didn't even know, and they would come in and say, "Oh, I love your messages at the end of the year." And we started having people share with us what they're doing with the messages. Totally blew us away. So we've heard various things. There was one Alzheimer's daycare program that at the start of every morning, and they've done this now for several years, they read a message to their people, and it's a big part of their morning every morning. I have families that contact me and say, we sit the kids down at breakfast and we pull up your messages and we read them and discuss them. I've had people tell us, more than one family has told us this, and I thought this was incredibly creative, but that they actually print the messages up, like even from the year before, and they're archived on our website, so all the messages are there. But they will print messages up and leave a message and an animal picture at everybody's place setting at the table, and they go around and read what an animal is grateful for, and then tell what they're grateful for. And I have people that have started traditions off of this. So it became a thing, and I can't tell you how many times I almost quit doing it. Like almost every year I get to the end and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this next year, because it is a lot of work. But what keeps me going is hearing these stories of how important this is. The animals are incredible when I ask them what they're grateful for. So I do need to say, do I have time to keep doing this?
7 minutes.
Okay. I do need to say that you need to understand this is me translating. So they're my words, but I try to capture the essence of their message, number one, but also their personality and how they say it and how I hear it. So this year, Becca had the idea of having me read them, and what you get from that is how I hear it. So you get more of the intonation of their personality and how I hear them talk about it. So it's me getting the message from them. They're real messages from each of those animals. I sometimes have people post comments like, "Boy, whoever does this has a great imagination." It's almost as if they're coming from the animal themselves, and I always have to chuckle. But it is from the animals themselves. I never make anything up or embellish, and some of them are really funny. Some of them are short, some of them are longer. Sometimes they get in a squabble because this year I only had 31. We have 250 animals here, so I go through randomly and ask, do you want to be a part of the messages this year? And for newer animals that here, I explain what that is. And this year I try to balance it with number of cats and number of donkeys and horses, and then our exotics are, bunnies and guinea pigs. Something's going on over here in the next room. I try to, mix it up so that you're getting a variety of animals. But every once in a while, I'll get to an animal because I have to start doing these messages ahead of time, obviously, or I wouldn't have time to do all the work. and I'll have an animal suddenly say to me, no, I don't want to do that this year. And then I have to pick somebody else. So sometimes I get dropouts, or this year I had the problem I have more animals than I have days. So I had some disappointed animals that didn't get to share this year. That's a bummer.
Will you talk a little bit about people who have previously participated in this and are used to the old format, maybe printing it out? Can you tell them what we're doing there?
So we're trying to become more user-friendly. So besides the video thing, so let me show you how this is going to work. Or not show you, I'll tell you how this is going to work. So we're going to do our traditional Facebook post. And what Facebook doesn't allow us to post a photo and a video. So you're going to see the video that'll play, but in the text underneath it will be the message. So you're still going to have the message in writing, but also in that text is going to be a link to two places. It's going to take you to our website. There's going to be a link there for you to share with people that are off of Facebook, because that was another request we got a few years ago. And because they are posted every day on our website as well. But what you're also going to have is a link to a PDF that will actually print. You're going to have a very nice printable version of the message plus the photo of the animal. So it'll make it way easier. I had people telling me that they were cutting and pasting it into a Word document so they could print it. So this will be way easier. There'll be a simple link. You're going to click it, and it's going to open up a PDF, and you're going to be able to just print that. And so you'll have the photo, the message. You're going to have the video. You're also going to be able to find this on our website, which is www.springfarmcares.org. And you will open up to our homepage, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to see that daily message right there on the bottom. Or you can also go to the top of the screen into the menu and hit blog. And if you go to blog and you pick animal messages as your topic, it will open to years worth of animal messages in there. Several years worth are in there in that blog. So you can have marathon animal message readings if you want to. And the picture is there with the message. You also will be able to this year go to YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. And so if you go to YouTube and search Spring Farm Cares, you will come up with our channel. And on our channel, you will see a category that says animal messages. I also want to say that on YouTube and also on the website, we have all of these Animal Talk Thursday episodes as well. So if you're missing Animal Talk Thursdays on next Thursday until the new year, you can go back and watch the old ones. And they're available so that, I mean, they're on Facebook still too, but you can find them easily all in one place if you go to our YouTube channel. And you'll see Animal Talk Thursdays as a category, and you just click that, and all of the videos will be there, and you can watch them anytime you want.
Lots of options.
Yes, options. Now, I want to, and do I still have time?
Yes, you have 2 minutes. I mean, you really have all the time you want, but.
Well, thank you, Becca. I want to end this series of things for now about something that I'm grateful for. So first of all, I would like to call out the voice behind the camera, Miss Becca, because one of these days you'll see her. But I'm very grateful this year to have Becca join us, because she's brought a whole other layer here of communicating with all of you, and also just doing the community outreach and the volunteer program that she does here. So, and she does a great job. So thank you, Becca.
Thank you.
And I'm also grateful, obviously, to all of the animals, and as they've shown up in various videos, and as they're about ready to give their most incredible messages on what they're grateful for. And the final thing I would like to say I'm grateful for is all of you who are watching, and all of our donors and supporters. But it's not just about money. That's not what I'm talking about. It's energy that is put in towards supporting Spring Farm Cares and the animals, and what this mission is all about. And the mission, to reiterate, our mission is not just about rescuing animals. We do that, and we're really, proud to do that. We're really humbled by that work. But the bigger mission is touching the human heart. That's actually what Spring Farm is here for, is to open the human heart to learning more about animals and their being sentient beings and their thoughts and their feelings, and understanding them at the level that they really want to share with us. So it's as much about the human heart and being a sanctuary for the human heart as it is for these animals. So I want to thank all of you for participating. I'm very grateful to each one of you. And so we wish you all the best for the holidays.
And I think I can speak for everyone watching that we are also grateful for you, Dawn, for you taking all this time to share all of the wisdom and insight you have. It's been amazing.
Well, thank you. And we'll see you all again. You're still going to see us.
Yeah.
We have other things that we'll show up for too. I have some thoughts to share with Becca on some other things.
Great.
So anyway, we'll be showing up. You'll see us, but we'll see you for Animal Talk Thursdays after the new year.
All right. And we'll see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.